Big Shaq notices a pregnant woman working tirelessly at a gas station, striving to provide for her children. What happens next will leave you speechless. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As the evening settled over the city, the skyline transformed into hues of amber and deep blue. The streets had grown quieter as most people retreated to their homes. A gentle breeze carried the faint scent of gasoline and asphalt, weaving through the dimly lit parking lot of a small gas station on the outskirts of town. Bright neon lights flickered above the pumps, their glow casting long shadows on the cracked pavement. Shaquille O'Neal rolled into the lot in his large black SUV, the engine humming softly. His day had been long, filled with meetings and public appearances, and all he wanted was to get home. But as he stopped by a pump, his attention was drawn to a figure moving among the cars. It was a woman, petite and visibly pregnant, dressed in a worn-out uniform with the gas station logo faded on the chest. Her movements were slow yet purposeful, her quiet determination evident. Shaq stepped out of his car, his towering frame catching the eyes of a few nearby customers. Ignoring the glances, his focus remained on the woman as she approached a nearby sedan with a squeegee and a bucket of soapy water. She offered to clean the windshield for tips, but the driver waved her off impatiently. Her shoulders slumped slightly as she retreated to the station, yet her resolve remained unbroken. Not far from her were two children, a boy, no older than 6, drawing on the pavement with yellow chalk, and a little girl curled up in a plastic chair, wrapped in a tattered blanket. The sight stirred something deep in Shaq, a mix of concern and curiosity. As he filled his tank, their eyes briefly met, and she gave him a polite, practiced smile, the kind that masks countless struggles. Shaq decided to approach her. "Excuse me," he called out, his deep voice resonating across the lot. The woman turned toward him, gripping the squeegee. "Can I help you, sir?" she asked cautiously. "You work here?" Shaq questioned, though her uniform made it obvious. "Yes," she nodded. "The night shift." Shaq glanced at the children. "And those are your kids?" Her gaze followed his. For a moment, her expression softened. "Yes, sir. I don't have anyone to watch them, so I bring them with me." Shaq's brow furrowed. "That's a lot to handle. Where's their dad?" Her voice dropped slightly. "He left when he found out I was pregnant again. He wasn't ready for more responsibility. It's just us now." Shaq nodded thoughtfully. "What's your name?" "Lauren," she answered. "And these are Jaden and Mia." Shaq crouched to Jaden's level, his presence captivating the boy. "What are you drawing, big man?" he asked warmly. Jaden held up his chalk drawing, a colorful yet messy depiction of a house. "It's where we'll live one day. A big house with lots of rooms," he said brightly. Shaq's chest tightened at the boy's hope. He turned back to Lauren, who watched nervously. "Lauren, why don't you sit for a minute?" "I'm fine, really," she said quickly, not wanting to inconvenience him. "You're not wasting my time," Shaq replied firmly. "Come on." Reluctantly, Lauren sat on a nearby bench, her eyes darting toward her kids to ensure they were safe. "You work nights, care for your kids, and are about to have another one. All on your own?" Shaq asked. Lauren shrugged lightly, resting her hands on her belly. "I don't have a choice. They depend on me." Shaq's admiration grew. "Do you get any help? Family or friends?" She shook her head. "My mom's in another state and not well. I don't want to burden her." And as for friends, she trailed off, leaving her meaning clear. Shaq exhaled slowly. "Lauren, I can't drive away tonight and forget this. I want to help." Her brow furrowed in confusion. "Help me?" "Why?" "Because I can," Shaq said simply, "and because you deserve it. What you're doing for your kids takes strength." Her lips parted, but she stayed silent, a weight lifting from her shoulders. "Let me do something for you," Shaq continued. "I'll come back tomorrow. You don't have to do this alone." Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "Thank you." "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," Shaq replied, smiling kindly. "Just take care of yourself and those kids. I'll see you tomorrow." As he walked back to his SUV, Lauren watched him go, her mind racing. For the first time in a long while, She felt a glimmer of hope.